Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. Happy New Year. I hope everyone's New Year is filled with tons of blessings and abundance and love and happiness. This is a general collective reading, so there's no signs attached to it. Take it if it resonates. Again, with the general readings, because they are general, don't take on energies that are not yours, that don't belong to you. Just take it if it resonates, leave whatever doesn't. It is general, so keep that in mind. We are going to get started here. There's an energy here. The first card out we have is the Resistance card, and then we also have the Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles, and then the Devil underneath that. So heavy earth energy. So you may be dealing with an earth sign, or Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, or that this may be you, or this is just the energy of the situation where I feel like there's somebody here who is resisting some sort of action, is kind of how it's coming through. Holding on really tight to something with the this card is interesting with the Resistance, right? It's kind of feeling like there's like some sort of dream or idea or course of action that someone is needing to take, but it's almost like they're resisting it, right? With the hand, like they're not wanting to go in this direction, but it's kind of like whatever it is that action is requiring, like those, it's like it's happening anyway. It's kind of how it's coming through. It's like there's no resisting whatever it is that is like in alignment, is kind of how it's coming through. Like there's something about like somebody is resisting a situation, whatever that is. It kind of feels like, so it's related to whatever this Hierophant energy is. This card talks about like belonging to me, like belonging and legacy, like everybody's welcome. There's an energy here of like legacy, as well as what, like something that's very long standing. And she's offering sort of this wand, right? So it talks to me about like almost like returning to something that's meant for you, or receiving something that is meant for you. But it kind of feels like with this Five of Pentacles, perhaps there's someone here who's like preferring to stay outside of this energy, whatever that is, like preferring to stay outside of an energy where they are meant to be. Or like that is the situation that's sort of happening, especially with the Devil here. This talks to me about like patterns, right? And it's interesting, all of these cards have 5 in them, right? 25, the Devil is 15, and then Hierophant is 5, and the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like this energy is changing. It's shifting, or needs to be shifted in some way, needs to be changed, because there's a lot of resistance in this situation, whatever this is for you. What I'm seeing next here is, so you have here the Beauty card, which is really interesting, because this is talking to me about like when you let go of the resistance and sort of simplify or like remove anything that's like with the Devil here, it's kind of feeling like almost like self-imposed boundaries, or like too much self-restriction is kind of how it's coming through here. Like I feel like there's somebody here who's like holding on really tight to like rules, or a structure of some sort, or like ways of being, or like ways of doing things that are like really rigid and not changing, right? It's kind of like, and so that it's kind of like there is something that's here that's wanting to come through, but it's almost like there's such a restricted sort of grip on whatever this is, that it's like this energy can't flourish properly, is kind of how it's feeling. And with the beauty card, it's kind of like when you let go of it, it's like it's much simpler is what's coming through. There's like a simplicity in releasing the boundaries or releasing the firm grip, whatever that is, because it's kind of feeling like there's like so this card's talking to me about simplicity, but it's also kind of like when your mind wanders, like where does it wander to? Or it's like if you try, because it's kind of coming through as it's like when you try and distract yourself from this course of action, right? It's like there's something that you want that's over there or whatever, but it's like there's for whatever reason you're not going, or there's somebody here who's not going in that direction because of some sort of like strict rule following or something. And it's kind of like the more you this person or whoever I'm talking about, could be you, could be somebody in this dynamic, the more that someone ignores or tries to distract themselves from this course of action, it's like it pops up anyway. It's kind of how it's going to, like it's all around. It's kind of like somebody seeing, like being reminded of whatever this desired course of action is in even the things that they try and distract themselves from that course of action, if that makes sense. It's like, even if you try and ignore it, even if you try and distract yourself, the energy of the desired thing still pops up, is kind of how it's coming through here. Like, whatever this represents to you. And with the 3 of Coins, it could have to do with some sort of collaboration. I'm more so seeing this as being like, these are the... It's like, it feels like there's something... that is needing to be said or communicated. Because the overall or like the bottom of the deck for this deck that I'm using, it says the orator. I don't know how to say that. Communication and confidence, orator. Like speaking very confidently. It talks about like something about like having a lot to get off your chest, or like even like writing it out might be helpful if that's something that is like, because the cards that are coming out underneath this says the air, unseen potential and hesitation, and then the puppeteer, explanations and apologies, right? The hesitation and the explanation are being clear. Like, this is the area of resistance, right? It's like there's something that needs to be said. Perhaps it feels like a big speech or an explanation of some sort. Somebody has a big explanation for something or someone else, right? Like, it's like, I don't want to necessarily say that it was a lie, but it kind of feels like there was a lot withheld, is how I'm seeing this. So it's not, it's a lie by omission is kind of how it's coming through. Like, there's somebody here who hesitated or who didn't say something that was perhaps needing to be said, or with the puppeteer here, the explanation and apologies, perhaps there's some sort of explanation or apology that is wanting to happen, but it's like there's resistance towards that, right? It's kind of like there's somebody here who needs to apologize for something or explain something, but that's the resistance, right? Like, that's the area where it's like they don't want, it's difficult, which is totally understandable. Like, apologizing or explaining something that's like perhaps difficult to talk about is kind of how it's coming through, right? With the devil energy, it could be any sort of like difficulty or pattern or whatever that is difficult to talk about, is how that's coming through. This air card talks about like the fact that there has been already a lot of preparation put into this situation, is kind of how it's feeling. Because it's kind of like there has been a lot of preparation. I feel like whoever this is has already done, it's almost like they've gone through in their head what it is that they need to say, what it is that they want to express. They've done a lot of preparation, but it's kind of just like putting off that sort of like final step of actually saying it, is kind of how it's feeling. Like they have, it just feels like they have all of the, they have the thing, but they haven't revealed that yet, right? It's like they've done all the preparation work, is how I'm seeing this, but hesitating, sort of like in taking whatever the next step is. I feel like this is there's this sort of like moment of hesitation or perhaps indecision about like actually taking this step, is kind of how it's feeling to me. Because it's kind of like what comes next after this is the Tower, which is not a negative energy at all. How I'm actually seeing this is like, this is the step, right? This is the difficult action that is needing to be taken. It may feel like a Tower moment, especially if it's kind of like something like there's somebody here who's trying to express something that hasn't been said or that hasn't been done, or like an apology if there is one. I don't know if there is, though. It's just kind of feeling like there's whatever, that'll be specific to you, whatever this is, but it is coming through as a Tower moment, because I feel like it's like a decisive, or like a moment of change where like you can't take it back once it's said, that kind of thing, where it's like it whatever is said or whatever happens, there will be like a no turning back, or like you can't take it back. And so there's a lot of sort of care being taken in this step, is kind of how it's feeling to me. But there is this energy here coming out next. The masculine and the sun came out together. So this one says a lunar god. So this figure here reminds me of an actor named Daniel Henney, and he's in this show called The Wheel of Time, which is talking about this sort of like energy of like a in that show, he plays sort of like this protector, right? Like he's a warden, is what they're called. He protects sort of this magician kind of energy. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but it's kind of this, what this is talking to me about is like accepting a role or a purpose, right? Because it's kind of like it's talking to me about purpose, actually, now that I'm saying that. It's like accepting some sort of purpose that you have, or that whoever it is. So it absolutely talks about responsibility, especially with the air, right? There's some sort of like perhaps a responsibility, or like some sort of, I don't want to use the word burden, but it kind of feels like that. It feels like there's like accepting whatever this role is, perhaps, or accepting whatever this responsibility is, or purpose, or taking action in some way. Feels like it's like there would be no going back. It's kind of like you're locked into this once it takes place. Whatever that is. And what's so interesting, though, was that what came out to clarify these two cards was the Ten of Cups, right? So it could be something like with the Ten of Cups, right? Like accepting your role in sort of a group dynamic in some way, or accepting happiness, accepting like love and fulfillment as well. I don't know why that's such a difficult thing, but it feels difficult. It's kind of something like, I feel like whoever this energy is they're currently in a Nine of Cups is what this is feeling to me like very happy on their own, or like very independent, or like very fulfilled on their own, right? They like being alone, or they like being perhaps unbothered is kind of how it's going through. And so in order to like take this whatever, go towards whatever this is, it's not quite a sacrifice, but maybe that's how it's feeling, is that it feels like it would be some sort of like a sacrifice of their independence, perhaps, right? Because it's kind of like where one goes, the other goes. Where it's kind of like there's, because especially in the Wheel of Time, right? It's like the two of those characters were bonded together. There's no separation in whatever this dynamic would be, or whatever this next step would be. It would kind of be like you would be bonded to another in a way where it's like there would be no separation from this point on. Like if you look at like this sort of archway, Okay, but there's another energy here that I feel like, so that's one person's dynamic, or like energy is kind of how it's coming through. The other energy here is in this space where you have here the Focus card and the Blue Moon Unexpected, the unexpected. When this card came out, I haven't seen this card in such a long time. It's kind of feeling like that like in whatever this energy is, like whatever, I feel like there's somebody here who is in this sort of focus state. This card talks to me about like trying to see through cloudy emotions is kind of how that's feeling to me. It's like that, but it's interesting because it's kind of like, this is like this talks to me about like independently focusing, right? Because I feel like there's a situation here where it's like because of this separation with the Five of Pentacles, each person is sort of like focusing on their own thing is kind of how it's coming through. But with the Blue Moon, the unexpected, it's like something really unexpected happens when you focus together is kind of how it's feeling. Because it's kind of like whatever this orb is electrified, right? It's like there's something really unexpected about this coming together is kind of how it's feeling. And it's like there's a lot of watery energies present here. It's kind of feeling like with the with the Focus and the Page of Swords, whoever this is may be sort of like looking back at something here with the Page of Swords, because the way it's looking is like looking back at something, or trying to find the answer in the past is kind of how it's feeling, or trying to figure something out here with the Page of Swords. This talks to me about like research gathering, or like searching for answers. That might be a focus, right? Like searching for an answer, or searching for clarity or truth, or whatever. It's coming through as like searching for an answer. There's someone here who's searching for an answer to whatever, especially because the moon is coming out next, right? With all of this sort of like moon energy. So the moon talks about, like, this card is it's so melancholy to me. It's beautiful, but melancholy. She's standing over a bridge as well. Some sort of hidden desires, kind of how this is coming through here. But it's kind of like they're like trying to find an answer to that, or trying to find a way for that to come into being, is kind of how it's feeling to me. And then next you have here is the Knight of Coins, which is so interesting because this is, all of these have this sort of watery energy, but then the Knight of Coins is this sort of like stark, dry desert kind of earth energy, where it's kind of like it's kind of like there's somebody here who's trying to find an answer to some sort of like Knight of Pentacles kind of energy, where it's like having to take things slow and steady, having to take things one day at a time, building over time as well. That's what this Knight of Pentacles is talking about. But it's kind of like there's kind of it's showing me this imbalance between, like, there's all of this water here, but it's not accessible in this place, or it's not accessible in this. It's like being surrounded by water, but none of it is drinkable. That's what this is looking to me like. I have no idea what this sort of like. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave that like that. They're being surrounded by water, but it's like none of it is drinkable. Like, she's standing on a bridge, right? It's like none of it is like having to anyways, so underneath the Page of Swords, you have here the Death card, which I was looking at this sort of like the skull energy, right? The communication, because it's kind of like, I feel like there's like this Death card always comes through as being like afraid to look behind the curtain. Not afraid. It's not afraid. It's just like there's something behind the curtain that actually feels like a much bigger deal because it's behind the curtain. It's not, because it's kind of like if you're anticipate, like, say somebody says, like, it's kind of coming through as like, if you're just talking with someone and they say, oh, I have this like story to tell you, right? But then like something happens and you have to like separate, or there's like, you have to wait for the story, is kind of how it's coming through. You have to wait for the story. And so while you're waiting, there's like this huge sort of like, almost like inflation of potentially bad news, that it's like, what could they possibly be wanting to tell me that's such a big, like, it almost becomes a bigger deal because it's been something that's withheld. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and I feel like there's somebody here who's maybe like seeing it like that. It's like, oh, this person is not speaking or not saying something, so they must be hiding something. Like, it kind of comes through with that kind of vibe. It's like, what are they hiding? And it might be sort of like feeling like they're hiding something worse than what it actually is. That's what it's kind of feeling like. It's not, because it feels like it's something unexpected. It's not something that's like really a bit like, perhaps not a big deal, perhaps it is. That's the thing. I don't know. It does, I have no idea. It's unexpected. It's something unexpected. It's kind of feeling like once this thing is said, it's gonna change everything, is kind of how it's feeling. It's gonna change everything in a way that makes things unexpected. You can't see how this will turn out until it happens. This is a situation where you can't know how it's gonna turn out until the thing happens, whatever that thing is. It's kind of like bursting a bubble, right? bursting a bubble, but then with the unexpected, it's like there's something else revealed, like some sort of like, again, with the air, like untapped potential, something new that's created from whatever this experience is, like, so, okay, anyways, the last card here we have is the aspirant, which says ambition, diligence, and setbacks, because I feel like it's kind of like once this thing is said, whatever it is that needs to be said, whatever explanation is headed your way, or however it is that this plays out for you, it's kind of like this becomes like the beginning, because this is the Fool card in this deck. It talks about like setting course on some sort of new adventure. There's a lot of it's coming through as like receiving the keys to something, but it's kind of like you don't know where the key fits. Like you're not sure, like you're receiving a key, or you have it already. You have this sort of key, but you don't know what keyhole it opens is kind of how it's coming through. Like you don't know what it opens yet. So it's kind of like you have to set out and look for it, is kind of how it's coming through with the Knight of Pentacles. There's something here about like, again, taking things one day at a time, but it's like there's something here that needs to be revealed first, or set, or spoken, or like accepted here with the aspirant. Like it's almost like you have to accept or say yes to whatever this thing is, right? Like let go of the resistance, right? The hands need to be open is kind of how it's coming through. The hands need to be open, not clenched fist, right? There's something about like releasing the resistance about where it is you're going or what path it is, because it's kind of like you have a key, or you have some sort of information, but the destination or like what it opens is unclear to you at this point. It's like whatever that key is very unexpected. Something very unexpected, and I don't think you will know what that is until you actually try it, right? It's like you have to actually go and try different locks to see which one opens. And that might sort of feel like a tower energy, because it's like perhaps having to leave a situation or leave something, or break out of some sort of like restrictive energy. I feel like on some level, you already know what this is with the Beauty card. It kind of feels like there's something about like, whatever you're doing to distract yourself from this course of action is actually showing you exactly what it is that you need to be moving towards. Whatever you're using to distract yourself is the answer, is kind of how it's coming through. Like that's the thing you should be doing. Instead, like that's sort of where the key is going to unlock for you, that realm of whatever it is that you're distracting yourself with. Perhaps you've been preparing yourself by sort of being in that energy of distraction as well. Learning from it, perhaps. But there's so much, like, I feel like this is talking about like you coming together with something else or someone else, perhaps with the unexpected blue moon, that it's like when you and this other energy, whether it's a person or an opportunity, when you and this other come together, it creates something like super electrified and very unexpected. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.